Welcome, horror fam, to HHN 365, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. My name is Duff, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Jess.
What's up? I got out of doing the intro this week.
Yeah, you did. I thought about that. Like, right before I said it, I thought about it.
I know.
And I was like, I'm just going to, whatever.
I was like, hopefully he doesn't say anything. It just does it.
You're already on the verge of losing your voice. I'll let you have it.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind to me.
Of course. Hey, we got an announcement again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, we did. I kind of forgot. I'm sorry.
It was the day after we posted our last episode, so great. Streak always continues for us. We're good at that. We got the announcement. That's exciting. We'll get into that. But before we dive any deeper, we do have social media. If you want to give us a follow and keep up to what we're doing, what we're talking about HHN-wise, that's at HHN365 on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also on TikTok at HHN365pod. If you want to join us here on the show, you can leave us a voicemail at 407-906-4134. And on today's show, we will be discussing, shocker, the bi-coastal house announcement of the Horrors of Blumhouse.
The Blumhousehouse.
The Blumhousehouse.
So excited to be saying that again.
Let's get right into it, though. Actually, it would be Blumhouse this time. Yeah.
Three houses.
Yeah.
It's the third.
Yep.
I get It's like toxic tunnel.
Exactly. Rest in peace.
Aww.
We're never going to hit 12 X's.
Wow, I really missed out.
I don't know. Do you know how cool it would be to have a shirt that just had like 15 X's in Toxic Tunnel one day?
Oh, yeah.
Ruined.
I would buy.
Ruined. Anyways, let's just dive right into the main, actually really the only news for the most part, spoiler for the rest of the episode, is the Blumhouse announcement. So we are getting the Horrors of Blumhouse back here in Orlando as well as in Hollywood. This time it is going to be Freaky and the Black Phone. It's I expected a lot of people to be very upset when Blumhouse officially got announced. That's not really the case for the most part.
No, they're still pissed off about The Weeknd.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The unannounced Weeknd is getting more hate the day of the Blumhouse
announcement.
In the Blumhouse.
Back in the day, Blumhouse used to get shit on. Like, I remember when the second one was the volume 2.
Yeah, volume 2.
With that was the one with the happy death day. The one that doesn't do good in a house. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
Everyone was shitting on it, but this one I was expecting hate, but no, everyone was still like, they still haven't announced that Weeknd house. I hope it's not happening. Stranger Things. And that's it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. I will say I'm happy that it's not getting absolutely shit on, because I think, it's at least one of the properties I think people are more excited about, this is going to be our first iteration that doesn't have The Purge. So that's exciting on its own. So you're going to have some differences there. And just 2 newer, fresh movies for the house. So, I mean, it's not going to be extremely high on my hype list or anything, but no. I'm kind of with the majority here that I look forward to it.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a fun walkthrough. I still haven't seen either movie, but I will. I haven't seen Freaky. I know Black Phone just came out, but I'll watch them now that we know it's coming to the event. Excuse me, but I was not excited when I saw this on the spec map.
I mean, just seeing after, not only because there was 2 of them, but volume 2. Oh man, just not. Yeah. It was not a good house. I'm sorry, and I think a lot of it for me is Happy Death Day, which is a movie I actually enjoy.
Yeah,
did not translate to a house at all. It was terrible. That section was literally one of the worst sections of house I've ever experienced. No offense to anybody involved. I mean, because I don't know what else you were going to do with that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's what the movie was. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but I just don't think that works. And we'll get into it, but I think there's going to be a similar issue with one of these films this year. Oh. But I'll talk about that a little later.
Okay.
Actually, I guess since you didn't really see either film, I'll talk about it right now before we get into the other stuff. Okay. So Freaky, I have seen both movies. Freaky is something I was excited about when it came out, and it kind of let me down, to be honest. Oh. I think redeeming qualities as far as a house could go is that there are some fun kills. There are a decent amount of sets or settings that you could make sets out of. So it's not like it's horribly aligns with the house, like, but I just don't know if the content's there for me. And I don't know. Just because the movie fell flat, obviously, I might be a little less excited about it. A movie that I don't love isn't going to be something that hypes me up, of course. But
Yeah.
Black Phone, just saw it. I actually loved it. I thought it was a fresh take on horror. I think it was just really well done. And I feel like a lot of horror movies overuse jump scares and then try to do that like over suspenseful build up the jump scares that don't happen. I think
Mhm.
this is the first horror movie I've seen in a while that like uses jump scares minimally and perfectly. So I think it actually has that horror element down. I think they build suspense appropriately. I think they build up characters enough to where you care about them. So I think it has like every ingredient you need for a fun horror movie. I will say my concerns. I'm not going to give away too much because it's still early on, so spoilers. But it takes place in one setting, 90% of the movie.
Mm.
And out of things that like you would see in a house, almost all of it would be in that one room. So yeah, there comes that kind of issue again potentially. I
Right.
think there are ways around that, but it'll be tough. It'll be tough. Also, the subject matter of the movie, which if you weren't aware, is about child kidnappings.
Hmm.
And not only is that the subject matter, but like you experience it, like you follow that aspect of it the whole way. So of course, when you're dealing with subject matter like that's that deep, always worried how they handle it, because one, it can fully change what you'd expect to see because they try to sidestep it, right?
Hmm.
Or they straight up go and do it, and it's like, oh. So I think it's a balancing act, but there is a lot of fun content they can work with, and it was a really good film. So I have faith that it'll work out well. Um, but yeah, so my big thing that I was tying to is that Happy Death Day, same room over and over. I think Black Phone could have a similar issue. There are ways around it. I think more so than in Happy Death Day, um,
Hmm.
but most of what you would want to see is in that room.
Okay. My issue with Happy Death Day, like that in the house, because I like the movie as well, and I did not see the second one because to me, where's the story going? Um, but I liked the first one, and the house just it was the same room over and over again, and the killer came from the same corner. If we could have just like been in a different corner of the room and he came out of something, I can see them doing that, like learning from their lesson with the Black Phone, hopefully, and like turning the room or doing something. I know it was a dorm room, so it
Yeah,
was
and I
easy.
will say there are differences in the way you can see the room, at
Okay.
least. Where in Happy Death Day, it's just kind of the bedroom, the
Yeah.
bedroom, the bedroom, bedroom. It's
A
the
parking garage.
Black Phone, same room, but when you watch the movie, you will see there are different angles of it and different conditions of it that you can see it in.
Okay.
So,
I'm excited. I now know I didn't know what the Black Phone was about. I haven't like
oh,
I don't want to read anything and spoil it. I know it's a book and everything. I'm gonna go see it probably this weekend, but
oh,
I don't. We'll see. But again, I understand it's about kidnapping children and I'm assuming murdering them eventually. Don't spoil anything, but um, the one of the biggest properties we see people ask for is it,
mhm.
and that's about killing children.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it's just how Universal handles it. And someone's always going to complain. Look at Hive with the two skeletons in
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
crib. Everyone bitched. Not everyone. People bitched about that. So it's horror. There's always going to be something you can't stomach. It's horror.
That's how it works. I
Yeah,
agree, but obviously not everyone does, and
I know.
sometimes they will kind of follow the guidelines of getting around it as much as they can.
Oh, absolutely. They don't want to step on any toes. They're not going to say what I just said, obviously. But
Of course.
and I'm not trying to be insensitive. Some people don't want to see that, and I don't blame
Yeah.
them. There's things I don't want to see, so
Right.
I don't watch those movies.
Hmm.
That's it.
I think everyone has at least one thing in horror. They're like, okay, that's what gets me,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yep.
don't want to see it. And for some people, I'm sure kidnappings of children and
Yeah.
even further than kidnapping them is kind of that point for them.
I don't blame them. I get it.
But yeah, no, I'm at least a little bit excited, but also very hopeful that this can be a pretty solid house.
Yeah.
That was mainly speaking on Orlando, I will say, because Hollywood has taken a very different approach, and actually, I'd say received a little bit better than Orlando's, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm excited to see if that continues here. But going into Hollywood, I do want to talk about one thing that Murdy's done every announcement, and he opens up a Q&A on Twitter, and he gets very open about the house. So, quick potential spoiler alert: there will be some light spoilers of info that he gave us that I'll be covering. It will probably won't ruin your experience. Just a heads up if you want to go in completely blind. So I have a few things written down here. Let me just go over them real quick, and then we can kind of discuss them a little bit once we finish. It will be in the Waterworld queue, which we assumed and was, well, not speculated beforehand, but
No.
Had been discussed. The facade will not be in a theater like in his previous iterations. It will be something unique. The film posters will be the transitions as they had been in the previous iterations. Freaky will start the house. Black Phone will end it. It is a longer house than the previous houses in the Waterworld queue. And the switch within Freaky will be represented in some way in the house, whatever that means. And also, Candyman was not replaced and was never happening.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, he gave us some info on the facade directly, the transitions themselves, and a potential effect we might see.
Yeah, and didn't he say that the facade originally was said as like a joke by one of the other guys in art and design?
Yep. Yeah.
Like the concept. He was like, we should do this, and like laughed, and John Murdy was like, no, we should do that. So I'm excited to see what the joke was. I'm
curious what that could be.
Yeah. I'm like, well, Orlando's done the door.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done the theater. So what? I don't know.
It will be the Blumhousehouse.
The Blumhousehouse.
The house.
The Blumhouse?
All right. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, nothing crazy spoilery there. Just a little bit of tidbits of info. I think most people would expect Freaky, the lighter film, to start it. Black Phone being the more intense film to end it makes a ton of sense. Longer house is always exciting. Nothing to be mad about there, of course. And very surprising, he confirmed the Candyman was never happening. Like fully addressing a rumor like that. Pretty interesting.
I feel like it's rare that they'll go ahead and do that and just be like, no, that was never coming. Come on, guys.
Yeah, right? Like usually they just don't talk about it at all and ignore it if it was just a rumor. But yeah, no, he's like, nope, was never happening. Don't know what you're talking about.
And this is Waterworld, so this is the one everyone was like, oh, it looks like Cabrini Green.
Yes, correct.
So then what is this facade?
Good question.
It's actually, you know what it is? It's a house, but it's the Blumhouse. So it's the Blumhouse house.
I'm going to pretend I understood what you said.
Yeah, but it's just like a house. It's an apartment complex. It looks like Cabrini Green, but they just put Blum on front of it. So it's the Blumhouse.
So it's not the Blumhouse house. It's just a Blum house. But it's actually a Blum apartment complex.
It might be a house. I'm just kind of going off the Cabrini Green.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Rumor that everyone was saying.
It's a Blum house. Got it. Perfect. Yeah. Makes sense.
There you go. And Jason Blum's just sitting up there like in a rocking chair. It's just like, come on into my house.
Oh, that'd be so Hollywood.
Right. It's a joke. This is all. You're welcome, guys. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know how much more I could say about the house itself at this point. We've had letdowns before. Yes. I think there's a little more excitement than previously, so good. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be like somewhere around 7 to 9 on my hype list.
Yeah, and it'll probably end the event 7 to 9 on my ranking.
I mean, I will give it the benefit of the doubt. I have had things jump very high.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. It's usually not for IPs, but Graveyard Games was very low on my hype list just because
Mm.
the name didn't imply too much exciting. Like, I feel like the only excitement was Graveyard. Easy theme. They could do well, right? But I don't know. But yeah, one of my all-time favorites. Anyways,
Yeah,
so
look at
we'll
us
see.
now.
We'll see. But yeah, it'll definitely be lower on my hype list, and yeah, I would not be surprised if it finishes mid to lower on the ending rankings.
Oh yeah. The thing that surprised me the most about this announcement is the merch, and I actually really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that might not be the consensus. Okay, not the ornament. I'm over the ornaments. I understood the first two.
The actual logo itself, though,
The
looks good.
design is so good in person, and I don't think the shirt looks good on pictures or on socials. Like we posted it on TikTok. People were saying they liked it, but I was like, I don't think it looks good in the TikTok. In person, it looks so good. I can't even describe it. I like that it's like flipped. I don't like that it's a sleeve. HHN 2022. I wish it would have been on the back like Halloween, but
Yeah, what
we
an
can't win
interesting
everything.
choice to just do that with one shirt, and then
Yeah,
it gets universally praised, and then it's like, oh no, sorry, it's just the one. That's it.
literally just the one, and then here's 3 ornaments. I
I also
I don't get it.
going off on a complete tangent with merch here. So when they release the new shirt, they'll get rid of the old shirts, but they still
Mhm.
have all 3 ornaments out.
They still have some of the shirts.
Where?
I saw some monster shirts on Saturday when I went.
Oh,
I
when
didn't
did I?
see any Halloween.
I went on Sunday, and they only had Blumhouse in the store.
Oh,
But
maybe they.
I didn't go to boutique, so maybe
Oh,
they're still there
I
too.
didn't go to the Hula boutique.
Yeah,
I haven't. It's so far in the back of the park that if I'm going just to look at the merch, I'm only going to
yeah,
Universal.
right.
I'm sorry. I only have to walk in and go down Hollywood, so it's a lot faster.
Boutiques are
But
so buried.
yeah, they did have some, but they were all like extra smalls for the monster shirt, so it might have just been like stock that they had in the
Oh, I do
back or
wonder if
something.
they. But the thing is, like, I want to say it was for the Halloween release.
Mhm.
There were still like a decent amount of monster shirts, but then when the Halloween shirt came out, they were all suddenly gone.
Oh, see, I've seen them. I saw
That's
them
so weird.
when I went to film the Halloween shirt and when I went to film the Blumhouse shirt. I saw them,
Huh. Well,
but they were like not with the other stuff at Five and Dime. Does that make sense? They were on like an end cap
yeah.
over near the Bourne exit.
Gotcha. I still
It
didn't.
wasn't like out, but the ornaments are all there still, all of them.
I mean,
Can't.
are you surprised?
No, I understand they're cheap to make, but like I didn't think Blumhouse needed an ornament.
I mean, to be fair, did Halloween? I think monsters. I don't know why. This probably makes no sense, and is only makes sense in my head. That Universal monsters make sense as an ornament, but the other two really don't need it.
I get what you're saying, but I disagree with Halloween not needing one. I think Michael Myers is so iconic that an ornament with his face on it would sell.
I guess so.
Whereas Blumhouse, you're like, what the fuck is that? Like people, I'm not kidding, on our TikTok of the shirt and everything. I know that's from the Black Phone, but what's the thing on the bottom? And I'm like, did anybody watch the announcement? Did anybody see what happened? They didn't know what the freaky killer looked like. I didn't either, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
also
know.
interesting. They in the ad and the way it's kind of worded in the announcement is that you will see mainly after the transformation, the Freaky Friday style transformation, right? Version of the butcher, I believe, is what they're called. Um,
Oh.
but on the shirt, it is not. It is original form with mask.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that fits better with the Snatcher. The Snatcher, I believe, is the. I should know this. I literally just watched the movie. the villain,
Yep.
the villain of the Black Phone. But anyways, those back to what you said. I do think it's a good logo, especially compared to what they've
Yeah.
done with the Blumhouse logos in the past. I think it's
Yes.
um, more original. It's not just like here's Blumhouse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a cool design. Looks good. The clashing blue and red.
Yeah, I like that. And then it draws. I like that the merch from this one drew from the kind of like the announcement video because we had the same 2 colors in the cringe couple video, which we didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about our next trope.
That's true. Yeah, the cringe couple. Is it just me or were they not actually like cringe?
They weren't that cringy. Like they were kind of like all over each other in the beginning, but that was it.
Yeah, and then but they were also all over each other in an empty parking garage. Like
Yeah.
I was just missing the part where they made him cringe. Like
Yeah,
noticeably cringe.
it would have been better if they were like, I don't know, calling each other like pet names in the beginning before she answered the phone. Like just something to bring it extra. Because to me, it wasn't cringy. They were just like young people dating.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't get it. And then they talked to was it Kyle?
Brock. I think it was
Brock.
Brock.
Brock. Yeah,
It was another
like
white
the
guy
gym
name.
leader in Pokemon, of course. Um, yeah,
Sure.
I'm assuming that Brock will be the focus of the next teaser.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be. I guess we'll get to see Brock. Good for Brock. Get his shine.
Can't wait to see. So is Brock going to be attacked by the Weekend?
I mean, I've heard people say that, you know. But at this
Mm.
point, I do want to see the weekend be the last announcement because I like that every time there's an announcement,
That's all they can
people
talk
feel a little
about.
bit more. People feel more confident. Like, oh, the weekend's not coming. Oh, it wasn't the weekend,
Oh.
and they save it for the last one, and people are like, oh yeah, yeah, no, obviously he's not coming. And then boom.
I say that what they should do for the weekend is do the archways and everything, but have it covered, and then do like
Mm.
a reveal of the final 10th house, and it's the weekend, and out comes Abel. And the curtain drops, and everyone just walks away and booing. Not at him, like we're still there because we're like, yes! But like the 20 people from Twitter and Facebook are like,
It's like, no, it's a joke. We're being pranked.
yeah, no, it's definitely Case Files Part 2. It's definitely.
Uh, yeah, but no. I back to the video. I forgot we were
Yes, I'm
talking
sorry.
about that. I mean, I thought it was
Cringe couple.
it was a fun enough video, right? I thought
Yeah.
especially the black phone part of the reveal was pretty fun.
Yeah, I like that part better because, like, what happens is they answer the phone and she's on the phone with Brock, and then the boyfriend's like, "Hey, we gotta go," because he sees the killer from Freaky,
Mhm.
and then they run to the elevator, and then it opens, and there is the snatcher,
Yeah, I believe so.
and that scared the
Or the
shit
grabber,
out of me.
the grabber.
Either way, those are terrifying names for someone who abducts children.
Yeah, it's the grabber or snatcher. I want to say it's the grabber now that I said it.
Well, now I'm just imagining one of those dinosaur grabbers. I'm sorry.
They should have released that with the merch drop, like
With his head.
the mask.
Oh,
It's one of
yeah.
those grabbers.
But it lights up, and they'll have it on the carts at HHN. The little light up carts.
Holy shit, I fucking love it.
I would die. But that character terrifies me just from what I've seen in like the marketing.
Oh.
That mask is so scary.
I will say one of the absolute best parts of the film, and which I thought was like a really well done film in general, was the usage and design of the masks.
Oh.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Very, very well done.
Okay. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Probably. It looks very like tonally, like the colors and everything I've seen seems very my vibe.
I will
that
say
makes
too.
sense.
I think from like the trailers you see and kind of how it's pitched, it also kind of delivers a different element aesthetically than you fully expected it to.
Oh.
Almost a more trippy isn't the word, but more appropriate to its the time era it's going for. Then it kind of leads on in the trailers, and I thought it was like a nice addition. I was like, oh, caught me off guard, but I like it.
Okay. I'm excited. I gotta see if my husband will go this weekend or I'm going alone.
Make it happen.
Oh, I'll go if he won't go.
Any last thoughts here on the Horrors of Blumhouse before we move on to some few other things?
I'm excited to see it, and hopefully, it's rumored Fast and Furious, right?
Correct.
On our
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
I think that's a good setting for it. So I'm excited to see that. A new house and a new house and a new location.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Oh wait, no. There was one more thing I want to go over. Not for this incarnation of it, though. What did you think about the previous versions of Blumhouse? Because we kind of let on that like they were not loved. They weren't our favorite houses, but like actually breaking them down, what did you think about the two?
I liked Volume 1, Chapter, whatever we're calling it, Volume 1 better than Volume 2, but I think everybody did because it was what, Insidious, Sinister, and The Purge?
Yep.
But that was the one where it was Ouija and it was changed, right?
Yep. Yes. Correct.
Okay. I have to, because they bleed sometimes together because the Purge. I fully blame the Purge on that. But I liked that better. One, just because Sinister deserved its own house.
Mm.
And I love that movie. It's genuinely terrifying. I wish that section was longer. And the Insidious part, I hadn't seen any other Insidious houses because I think that was my first year.
Yeah, your first year was 27, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my first year. I didn't go in with high expectations for this because I had heard, like IPs like that where they do mashups are not, received well sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, okay. And that final like trippy room where all of the killers were there or whatever.
Yep.
I remember Daniel and Ashley specifically like almost going into a boo hole and we all lost our minds. So I loved it. The second one I did not like. I think I went through it once the 2 nights I was there, which is rare for me. I like to do multiple runs.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't like it.
Yeah, no, it was not great. I share pretty much the same sentiments. I thought the first one, again, not one of my all-time favorite houses or anything, but also heavily carried by Sinister for me as well. Really solid because of Sinister mainly. I think if you take Sinister out of that, and you got another almost 28 level version of that house. Still not quite as bad, probably, but not great. But yeah, 28's volume. We always say volume 2. That's not the official name. I doubt anyone was curious or didn't know that. It was also just called the Horrors of Blumhouse. But what we refer to as volume 2, one of the worst houses I've experienced personally.
Yeah, and then that song from Happy Death Day was just constantly playing. The birthday song.
Yeah.
It's my birthday. Yeah, I will say the redeeming point of the Happy Death Day scene for me was when the bong was in her chest and the mannequin was just laying on the bed. Just that one brought me a lot of joy. I won't even lie.
Yeah, no. I think there were moments that they weren't even like good. They were more unintentionally funny.
Yes.
And mainly within the Happy Death Day scene. I just think the first Purge aspect of that house was so extremely forgettable. Like, it was just, it's purgy. No memorable scenes, nothing crazy happened, It was just, yep, this is the Purge. Sure is.
Yeah, same. It was just I feel like the Purge is always shoehorned in. Because it literally is.
I mean, yeah. I think it has worked great as Scare Zone.
Yes.
I think in houses, not so much. So I am happy it's not coming for this year.
Same. I don't, because they keep making the movies. They don't need to.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't hate the Forever Purge, but
I didn't see it.
Shocker.
The last one I saw was the first Purge? First Purge. The one that was in that house.
Yeah. Which also, I didn't hate that movie. I think a lot of people do. I didn't hate the movie by any means.
No, I liked the twist. I don't think it's a spoiler at this point. We're years out where like the founding fathers had actually like it was all a setup to kill that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That was a really interesting like social aspect that I really liked added to the Purge. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, obviously that all purges are definitely kind of social stories. This one, by far, the most so.
Yeah.
And I think actually well done. But now we're harping too much on a movie that has nothing to do with this year. So
I know.
But yeah, overall, I think we can sum it up with we both liked 27s and both thought 28s was just kind of bad, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of expecting this one to be my favorite, which I don't want to go in with expectations. But just what I know of the properties, it seems more something I'd be into overall.
I mean, it wouldn't even take much because if I was to rate it out of 10, I'd say I don't even need to rate 28s. No. Don't worry about it. You kind of know where that's sitting. 27s, though, maybe at most, even though I think it's solid, like a 7,
Yeah.
It's not going to take a lot to beat it at the end of the day.
No, it just has to be better than the Sinister portion, and
It doesn't even have to be better than the Sinister portion. It just has to be better than, like,
cohesive.
you know, a third of the level of Sinister portion.
That's fair. That is fair. I'm curious to see what they do, and I'm expecting Orlando to have the same facade we've had.
I mean, but which version? Because also another issue. Sorry, 28. I'm really killing you here. 27's actually had. That's the one that had like the actual like door, and it made it look like it was that room.
Yep.
Like the Blumhouse opening credit room. The second volume had that, but like faded to the back with
the girl or whatever,
the Purger and the baby face.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what? The killer in Happy Death Day. And it was not like immersive like 27's was, where like you were walking into that door. It was just kind of like, look here, Blumhouse stuff.
Literally. But I think I saw on Twitter, isn't there a new Blumhouse intro?
There is. Oh, and I liked it. I liked it.
Oh, well, I can't wait to see it.
The thing is, they're going to need separate rights to use it, if you know what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
But anyways, yeah, no. I would bet. I would put money down right now, just based off one of the movies in this, that it will narrowly edge out 27 as my favorite Blumhouse house. That's what I'd assume at this moment. Obviously, that could go either way. I have no idea, but I would assume at this point it'll be my favorite at the end of the day.
Same.
All right, moving on from Blumhouse. We talked about it enough. People know our feelings, and they're really not much different than the consensus, to be honest. I think, usually we have something that we're like, at least one little take that we're kind of interesting and different. I think Blumhouse, we're pretty much just with the majority here on every single thought about it. So
sorry, guys.
Sorry we couldn't be interesting this time. One more thing in Orlando, and then we'll start moving on a bit. Or I'm sorry, one more thing in HHN Orlando, then we'll start moving on a bit. Legacy, the insider that we talk about quite a bit. Great track record. He has kind of backed up something that's been rumored, discussed, floated. I don't know if it was ever actually like a rumor before, but that Bug House will be the comedy house this year.
That doesn't shock me.
It doesn't. I mean, of course, there is that aspect of like, they could take it super serious and like make it extremely creepy, and anyone that's actually scared of bugs would really have trouble making it through. But this way makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. You need something to laugh at. We talk about it all the time. You need a Beetlejuice. You need a Ghostbusters. It doesn't have to be an IP. And they've done comedy houses before, and I cannot name a single one right now that's an original. I'm so sorry.
I mean, HR Blood and Guts.
Thank you. I literally couldn't come up with one. That was the issue. I know that they existed, but my brain was not bringing any up. But yeah, Blood and Guts, and everybody loves it. Bill and Ted was all comedy. I mean, everybody
Leave It to Cleaver too.
Another. I'm gonna let you say the houses, and I'll just say comedy.
Yeah,
but yeah, we need it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course. And of course, something that comes to mind when you think bugs, comedy, you're going to think of like the sci-fi, like oversized, goofy-looking bugs, So I obviously could go a different direction, but I don't know. That also seems very much up A&D's alley, right?
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be very 50s sci-fi comedy. It's not. I know that's another rumor we keep hearing, but that sounds the most accurate to me. Just knowing Universal, they could totally do a scary as shit Bug House, but with the speculated lineup this year, I think we need a funny house, and I don't really see one besides this.
Yeah. I think this is the first time you don't like just look at titles and see one clear, either comedy or just kind of more fun house is kind of a term that people are starting to use for something like that. Just by titles alone, obviously we only have officially 3, but from where we're at with speculation, there's nothing. So Bug House being that one would make sense.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on now, we're going to go over to Hollywood, where there, of course, has been more progress on the facades, on the sets. We talk about this every week, as we have been since like February, it feels. Um, Halloween, next to the Halloween house, there are a bunch of props outside. So you can see what's getting loaded in to the house, basically. And also, we talked about what looks to be the Nope set. Looks even more like the Nope set. I forget the name, but it has like the literal same name of
Yeah.
on that arch, so it definitely is. And also, I believe you were saying there's. I'll let you take over.
So someone had posted in the always lovely HHN Facebook groups about
Glorious places.
Oh, it's honestly my favorite corner of the internet where I can just creep and not say a single word. But I have the screenshot, but I don't have the name of the person who posted it. But they went on the studio tour today, and a bloody horse carcass. You can see it sticking up over like the fence of the Nope set, and it's crashed into a pickup truck. Like it's literally sticking out of the windshield. So,
oh, methinks I know something that's going to happen in the movie now.
Oh yeah! Wow, they're already spoiling the movie.
I mean, you're not supposed to see it yet.
Well,
to be fair,
they put a whole ass horse sticking up over the fence. How are we not going to see it?
Very true.
But also, I was watching again. I don't know whose video this was on YouTube because I was homesick from work today, and they were showing construction. And I'm glad I don't remember their name because they sounded kind of, not super smart because they were looking down at the back lot from up top. And they were like, well, this is where the Terror Tram drops you off, and this is where they pick you up. And they were saying the Nope set could not be part of the Terror Tram because the Terror Tram normally picks you up literally right in front of that set. But what he's not seeing is there's like a clear pathway on the set that has a clear entrance and exit, and the exit is just around the corner from the pickup spot. So who's to say the trams aren't just going down a little farther?
I mean, that's true. Like they literally just changed. They just changed what the Terror Tram's path usually is.
Yeah.
Last year. So
yeah, literally,
it wouldn't be the first time that ever happened, and I'm sure it's happened many times previously. Also, if you're that person, sorry.
You're not dumb. I'm sorry. No, that was the wrong way to say it. But like, I was like looking at it, I was like, you can clearly see where the tram just goes down around the corner, and you can exit right there. Like the fence is actually open right there too. Mm-hmm. So. And it's a very clear, like, winding path. It looks like it would take, like, a couple minutes to walk through. And there's a bunch of, like, little alleyways for scare actors. To me, it kind of sounds like...
does it look pretty obvious as a Terror Tram spot?
I don't know. I don't know the Terror Tram, but just, like, based on what I've seen and, like, watched on videos on YouTube. So I could be the idiot. You can call me dumb. I don't care. I'm not from Hollywood. I haven't been to Universal Hollywood yet. So, but to me, it looks like it's just a case of moving the trams down a little bit. They're still on the same road. It's not even like a different part of it's not even part of the pathway it is. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, send it to me when we're done here.
Yes. Okay.
I do want to see this. I've missed this. All right. Well, that's it for HHN news. But we do actually have something exciting for Hallowscream Orlando this time. And that's the first announcement. And that's going to be, as usual, not just a single announcement, but we got a house, we got a scare zone, we got a bar, we even got an attraction. So first, Captain's Revenge, a house from last year will be returning, this time as Captain's Revenge, Drowned in Darkness. They say this is, quote, newly reimagined. So, kind of what we expected. It's going to be the same house, but with some changes. I think we fully expected that for most, if not all, of what we saw last year.
Yeah.
We also have a new scare zone called Cutthroat Cove. The Longshoreman Tavern is returning.
It's happening.
Yeah, if you don't remember, that is where the Candy Corn Old Fashioned existed last year.
Yeah.
And Jess and I had a rough time.
I really tried to help.
It was really... you helped a lot.
I did.
It was a painful experience.
I was actually nauseous. And then we went into the pirate house, didn't we?
Yeah. We were waiting in line for Captain's Revenge as we drank it. Yeah,
with that like gummy eyeball. The drink.
It turned to like chalk and
guys, it was I'm nauseous thinking about it. I'm excited. to see the reimagined house. Drown. What's it called? What'd you call?
Captain's Revenge: Drowned in Darkness.
Okay, so that sounds like we're gonna go underwater because I don't
Hmm.
really know if there was any underwater elements in
Yeah,
that.
I don't think it was like a no.
No, it was like on the ship.
Hmm.
But so here's my thing: they're reimagining a house that was at Tampa
Hmm.
for a while. This was the Black Spot, like almost exactly the same house.
Hmm.
Um, I like that they're reimagining it, but it's still a house we've seen for like 10 years now. And
I
they
mean,
didn't.
again, it's Howl-O-Scream. It's not HHN.
I know, but it's a while at this point for me. I want to see. I'm excited because I really enjoyed Howl-O-Scream last year. This is not me Howl-O-Scream Orlando. Let me be very specific. I'm not shitting on anything that they're doing or any decision. We did go to Tampa. Orlando was just very, very much the better event last year. But my hope for this year is that this Drowned in Darkness, hopefully I'm getting that right, is, something slightly more reimagined. Maybe it's the same sets underwater and sunken and then the characters are different. That would also be cool.
Yes, very much so.
And I'm excited to see what Howl-O-Scream does because last year I really think that COVID, they struggled a little bit with the makeup because everyone had a mask on
Hmm.
for the most part. And they were like these net gaiters that had the character design on it.
Hmm.
And they just kind of stretched out differently. Nobody has the same face. So I'm excited to see, what they do, what I would assume without any COVID
Yeah, and
precautions in the way.
I think as far as everything, it's not as much affected by the situation. Um,
Hmm.
they did really well. Like I think
Yeah.
it's a recipe for a really good event. I will come out and say it, and I know not everyone agrees that I think already just off its inaugural year, I like the way they do it better than Tampa does by
Yes.
like 100-fold. Like it's not even close to for me. I think Tampa has more impressive sets in some of their houses, and there's still so many things that Orlando can catch up on. But just kind of the formula that Orlando goes with in general for the whole event, it works so much better than they do in Tampa.
Hmm. And I'm
So,
excited to see it hopefully maybe expanded upon this year and using the whole
mhm.
park.
And of course, that is the rumor that it will expand to at least 6 houses this year.
Hmm.
So that'd be exciting to see. And using more of the park. And the last bit of this announcement, Manta will be open, which I know is exciting for a lot of people because obviously SeaWorld has kind of become almost a coaster park, you could say, right?
Hmm.
And people love a good night ride on a coaster. So
Oh
people
yeah.
are very excited for the potential of most, if not all, of their big coasters being open this year.
Oh, I really hope so. I don't I love coasters, but I don't ride everything at SeaWorld. But I like Icebreaker. I know that
Hmm.
that's got to be open. It's not been announced yet, but that's going to be a great addition because last year there was only the two rides open.
I don't know.
Mako, was
Yeah,
it
okay.
Mako?
Yeah, Mako was
Mako
open, right?
and Thunder, the water ride. That was it.
Oh, I forgot that was open. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Hmm.
Yeah, so and more stuff open, I think will be great. No
Hmm.
matter what it is, just open up more attractions, especially coasters, and people will be ecstatic and more likely to come to the event. To be honest,
Yeah, for sure.
because
And
I mean,
yeah,
you could get a pretty cheap ticket, and I'm sure the if you open up a bunch of attractions, that the wait times will be pretty low. People eat that up.
yeah. And I don't remember when I went last year, the couple nights I went, there ever being like super long waits for anything, even the houses. So more rides means even less wait times. Hopefully the audience grows and more people go this year. But I would assume it was a success because it's coming back, obviously.
Hmm. Definitely.
So, do you think with possibly using more of the park, we're still going to enter from that back entrance, or do you think we're going to enter from the front?
I think it's probably still going to be the back entrance. To be honest,
Hmm.
I
It
think
makes the most
I
sense.
think it's a design choice. It's kind of different. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't hate it.
No, and like logistically, the only thing that frustrated me was that you would hit dead ends in the park because they were only
Hmm.
using, not even half the park, I don't think.
It was like a
Uh,
third at most.
Yeah, so like when you got to that Longshoreman's Tavern, it was barricaded off. You couldn't go any farther. And then the same thing, like you got to the Sesame Street area and it was a line for a house. And I wouldn't expect Sesame Street to be open,
Mm-mm.
but even just like a walkway to get to the other places, they didn't have any like side walkways. They didn't want to deal with the logistics of that. But more houses means they need more locations. So they're gonna have to open if that is what happens. It's still only one house at this point, right?
Mm.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what else they announce. Hopefully something new, not reimagined coming up. We'll
Hmm.
see. But I think we're both really excited to see what they do this year. And what's most likely going to be full, nothing holding them back. They're
Yeah.
going all out this year and see what they bring us.
Yeah, I loved their zones last year. I really enjoyed
Hmm.
them. So I'm excited too. We're getting a whole new zone this year, and they had a pirate zone last year. So
Yeah, yeah. So that's
they,
something that's like fully new already off the bat. So that's good.
yeah, I'm very excited for Howl-O-Scream. I really enjoyed it, and their ticket prices are so affordable that like if you're in Orlando or visiting, you should go.
Oh, it's absolutely worth. And if you live in Orlando and you're someone who like does haunts all the time, like us, um, even if you only plan on going a few times, like they're, um, uh, I forget what they actually call the pass, but their version of frequent fear, the ones where you can
Hmm.
go every night. It's such a great value. They do when
Yeah,
they do their sales, it's $100. I don't know if it'll be 100 again at any point this year before the event, but it's just an absolute steal, and it's so easy to pop into. Like
yeah,
such because you park like right next to the entrance, just walk right in. It's just very accessible,
literally.
great value.
It is so worth it. And there were nights where we would go to Howl-O-Scream and then just be like, "Hey, we did everything. Gonna go to HHN."
Yeah,
And then we
exactly.
go to HHN because
Hmm.
I did see some people on again the lovely Facebook groups asking about Howl-O-Scream, and someone was like, "I wish that they would do the opposite days that HHN is doing. I guess they don't. They just don't want to make money."
Well, I mean, who's
What a statement!
why would they be open Monday through Wednesday?
They would get nobody for a haunt
Nobody.
event. I'm sorry, just the locals, and that's it, and that's great. But I don't think enough of us would show up.
No,
We need some days off from HHN as well. I need to stay at home and rest my legs. Like
I
I'm
love the
old.
season. I love the hunts. I can't do 7 days a week.
No, I'm old. I'm sorry. Like
I'm
mentally, physically, I'm old.
I'm already pushing myself as is, to be honest.
Literally, I ended up in a wheelchair at one weekend last year. And that was because I'm clumsy. Imagine if I pushed myself 7 days.
Oh man.
No, I couldn't do it. But I don't love that statement because Howl-O-Scream is completely different.
Hmm.
The houses are completely different. The way they scare is completely different. The experience, their shows are different. I really liked that. I don't remember the name of it, but the like singing, dancing show
Oh,
from
the
Howl-O-Scream,
monster
Monster Stomp.
stomp, monster stomp.
Yeah, stupid name, but it was actually like a good show with really good like local performers.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
go support those people. Don't just, turn your nose up at it because you're an HHN freak. So are we, but like,
Yeah, obviously you have an H. And here's the thing: if you're someone who, I think there are people who aren't hunt fans in general, and
yeah,
they're HHN fans, have at it. But if you're a hunt fan, don't just do a disservice and don't go visit this event. Like it's worth taking a night off HHN for if you're
yeah,
into hunts in general.
it's totally worth it. And their food and drink was really good last year too.
It was a few drinks,
Except
obviously,
the old fashioned. And they have jello shots. So if you miss blood bags, they have
Hmm.
syringe girls that walk around in the sexy nurse outfits and they will squirt the shot into your mouth.
Oh, they never squirted in my mouth, but
Oh,
I
they
don't,
offered
I don't,
every time I bought one.
I don't know if I want that. That's kind of
Yeah, right. I mean, for the picture, if you want a picture and you're one of those
yeah, it's
people who
true.
miss,
Yeah, yeah,
the
okay,
blood bags and everything, go
fair.
to Howl-O-Scream. It might give you some nostalgia. I don't know.
And I know a lot of people out here are getting on that movement of like bring Isla Nublar to Orlando and are into the theme bars and all that. Um, Hellscream Orlando themed bar for every house, every scare zone.
Mm-hmm. It was really nice, and there was entertainment at the bars.
Yep,
There was an
every
aerial
single one.
artist at the Ivy bar. There was the like improv troupe at the Shoreman Tavern.
Hmm.
Like it's a really fun time. Don't turn your nose up. Don't be one of those people. Go give other haunts a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Well worth it. Well worth it. Um, and just I think we're kind of done. We don't really have anything else to say.
No.
But I don't really want the episode to end just yet. It's a little short for us. We like to get
Okay.
a little closer to the hour mark, and I don't think we're quite there yet, are we?
No, 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's. I don't think we're gonna fill 10 minutes with this. Um, but I was thinking, of course, we have the prop shop just recently closed.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. I will say there is a very fun rumor that hopefully is true that it would be the Epic Universe Preview Center.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a fan of like preview centers for new parks in general, so
Same.
give it to me. What if? What if though? It could be an HHN year-round themed experience of some sort.
Oh, a themed
But
experience.
it's just like one thing all year. That's it. It's not changes, not multiple experience. One.
Hmm.
What do you make it to promote HHN year round and as an experience you could enjoy year round? Do you have any concepts you would just off the top of your head? What do you think would stick in that spot as a year round HHN experience?
Okay. So immediately my HHN Goblin brain went with what everybody else would want, and that would be something to do with the icons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that is a really good kind of poster child. Like these are our original characters, but maybe something, and hear me out, something like how we have Jack and the caretaker and the horror makeup queue. Maybe it's just those two, the first, two original, and Eddie can come out, but they're kind of taking you on like the story, or maybe it's the storyteller. Actually, fuck that. It's the storyteller. And she's telling you the story of Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh,
Gather round, children, and then there's like a visual presentation, and then Jack or the caretaker comes out at the end and scares the crap out of you.
okay. I see you.
That that's the first thing off the top of my head. You put this on me.
That was a
That's
question.
what I think.
I
That's what
literally,
I think.
I thought of it literally maybe 30 seconds before I said it, just trying to squeeze something out. So,
Oh, it's either that or maybe like a walk-through museum because I love horror makeup's cute. I really do because I can see makeup kit and actual like molds and stuff that were used in these like iconic horror movies. I would love to see that for HHN, and maybe it's a presentation of the year before.
mm,
And I know you said it doesn't change, but it could change annually. It could close in November, December, be updated for the year before, and it's the process of how they created the whole event. There could be just like a rotating video, and then there could be a character that you meet. I think you should just put a meet and greet in there. Maybe Beetlejuice lives in there.
I mean, that is not a bad idea in general. I'll take the preview center over that, though. I will say.
Well, yes, yes. What would you do?
Okay, so I'm happy you went the way you did.
Okay.
'Cause I was, of course, leaning more of like an actual like immersive experience at first.
Oh.
But then while you were talking, I thought about what Singapore did last year instead of a full event, and they basically had what was a exhibition or museum of its Horror Nights history. So where they showcased different props, behind the scenes stuff, like how they create the event, their different icons. It was an HHN museum, basically. And I think if you're talking year round in a space like that, something to really promote the event and show what goes into it, do it like that. Also, as a nerd, like something like a museum,
Mm-hmm.
because you were talking about, obviously show off the originals. Something like that is going to show off in depth of every original character of any, large popularity.
Yeah. We'll just put them all together, and it'll just be like a walkthrough experience with a museum and the storyteller's reading you a story at the end.
So you know how like if you go to a museum, you have like the volunteers that walk around.
Yes.
The caretakers are just walking around answering
It's
your
Elsa
questions.
and Albert just like, can I answer any questions for you about the event?
All the icons rotating. Boom.
Do you want to hear about our Lord and Savior Mike Aiello? Just literally handing out pamphlets. There's a basket, like a tithing basket that they pass around, and he's like, "Oh no, this is for Jack's smoke break. Sorry."
Oh my god.
They're just raising money. All right, the options are endless for something like that. You could really go like fan heavy. You could go let's draw people to the event heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love it. It's gonna be a preview center, but
Yeah. Anyway, one more thing I wanted to add though about the Singapore part. It's a museum, every day, whatever. It has that aspect. But what Singapore did is on the weekends there was like they called it the Universal Monsters Scream Alley. So where
oh,
they actually did have scare actors. It was on the weekends. Maybe it was just Friday, Saturday. I'm not sure which. But so certain days of the week, it can actually be that HHN experience to some extent.
even better.
Mm-hmm. So you get best of both worlds.
Little Hannah Montana,
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
ridiculous.
Uh, I'm not saying, but yeah, no, I think it would be great. Not going to happen, but I thought that'd be a fun little discussion of. Yeah, obviously, as HHN fans, we want something year round just to exist in any
Absolutely.
capacity. Like, why would we not? You know,
They could just knock down the photo studio and extend.
who needs it? Who needs it?
No one is ever in there. I'm sorry.
The Brown Derby has not been open since like pre-COVID.
Okay, hey, we're
Give it
not
to us.
knocking down all of that because then we'd lose the podcast studio.
No, I didn't say knock it all down. Just
Okay,
give
cool.
us that little building.
Oh, okay. You would enter in the Brown Derby and exit through, like, make a path straight to the prop shop.
There you go.
Okay, and just leave the studio unharmed and like Schwab's.
Exactly.
Is that where Schwab's is?
Yes, it is.
That? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Right,
okay, I was like,
yeah, it's right next to the studio.
That felt New York to me for a second.
Oh no, you're right.
I know. I'm trying. Okay, as I called someone dumb earlier for being confident on their YouTube video.
Oops.
I'm sorry. I'm the dumb one. Don't hate me.
First step is admitting it.
I already knew that. Is there anything else? We added 6 minutes for you, Duff.
Look at that. I'm sure everyone turned off as soon as I said what the concept was for that. But hey, for those who stuck around, I hope it was somewhat enjoyable. And hey, listen, we got a voicemail. Leave us a voicemail at 407-906-4134. What you would put in the preview center for HHN. Specifically HHN. I don't want your other ideas. I don't want to hear them. I only want them for HHN.
Wait, we have breaking news for a local haunt.
Wait, what?
Sir Henry has announced another trail.
Oh, shit.
Literally 26 minutes ago while we were recording.
Read it to me.
All right. So, trail announcement coming fall 2022 at Sir Henry Haunt on Twitter. It is called Rapture of the Deed. Mm-hmm. Okay. Rapture of the Deep. I'm sorry, the picture cut off. It looked like deep. Rapture of the Deep. The fishing town of Portsmouth's successful market has been legendary for as long as anyone can remember. Unbeknown to outsiders, over a century ago, the town made a deal with a sea witch to sacrifice a human life for her sea creature every year in exchange for a lucrative harvest and favorable seas. Unfortunately, due to Captain Jonah's return from the dead, the townsfolk missed the day of sacrifice, and now the sea witch has unleashed her wrath. Her sea creature has been released along with its spawn, and together they are swallowing Portsmouth brick by brick. Will you join the townsfolk at the bottom of the ocean, or will you escape the clutches of the Kraken?
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, okay, big question I have here. Will it be in the location that's like through the outdoor trail that was being renovated, or will it take the place of the, I can't remember the name, the shark trail?
Yes. I would assume the shark
I would assume so just by the theme, but we do know that the other one is actually being renovated and becoming a different house. I would assume two water house would probably be a bit much, but I don't know, just tossing that out there.
Yeah, it might be. It might be too much. I would assume it would be in the Fishboy maze, which that was my favorite.
I think I agree. No, I like.
They were all great, but that was
my favorite. Because I'm thinking of. Cause I went to every event they had there, which is several over the course of the year. I kind of get them mashed up. But I think for the main event, it was my favorite.
Yeah, I don't think that one was open for any of the.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, because I did the Christmas event. But yeah, no, that was my favorite. Someone actually, they have those pneumatic drills that shoot air. They shot me in the leg and actually touched me, and I freaked. I remember specifically it was very early in the maze, and I was just like, "Oh my god, they touched me!" This is not HHN, everybody. Wasn't on purpose, but it definitely scared the shit out of me. But that one had a dock that moved, and I would love to see it.
Yeah, I'm about it. I like it. Sounds good. I'm always gonna be hyped for the water themed houses because. Kind of a real fear of mine. I don't like the ocean in general. Doesn't scare. I don't like deep water. It's kind of my thing, And
I don't like creatures in the water.
Yeah, it scares me. So anything like that is always going to excite me as a haunt. So that's.
Can you tell we both grew up in South Florida?
No, you would think people from South Florida would be like, yeah, water. I mean, I think that's what people assume.
I'm from Key Largo, and I'm not like, oh yeah, water.
I think most of the people I grew up with are with us.
Yeah, we're all afraid of creatures that are under the water because the water is murky. I'm sorry.
Dangerous.
Can't see it. No, thank you.
No, yep, no, I'm with you. Hey, look at that. We killed up to an hour now. We did it.
Wow.
Amazing. Thank you, Sir Henrys.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Sir Henry.
much. I really appreciate that. You helped us more than you can imagine.
Yeah, you really did.
Any parting words before we get to our famous outro?
When do you think our next announcement's going to be, and what is it? Because wait, who won that? Wait, did I win this one?
I think you won this one.
Because I said Friday, but it was going to be the weekend. You said Tuesday, and it was going to be what? Probably Blumhouse.
I think I said Blumhouse, actually.
So it's 1-1.
Ah, shit.
Damn it. Okay, it's a draw.
We tied. All right. Okay, this one.
Mm-hmm.
So this released on Thursday, the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I have my pick. I'm
going to go in the middle of what we tend to go with.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Wednesday, the 6th.
I was going to go Friday, the 8th.
Are you still sticking with the whole weekend thing?
I don't know if I'm sticking with the weekend thing, but I did see someone say, and they made a really good point, Monsters was announced on a Tuesday, Halloween was announced on a Wednesday, and Blumhouse was announced on a Thursday. I know that those were all circumstances and got pushed back, the last two. But hey, if people have noticed the pattern, why not go with it?
And also Friday, the weekend. Yeah.
So I'll say, yeah, it's going to be on the 8th, and it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
The thing is, if the rumors we have heard are true, I think the weekend is the last IP that we potentially have left to announce. Are they going to do the whole mix in the originals and IPs and go back and forth thing, or are they just going to knock out all their IPs?
I think, because I was saying originally, I was very firm on, I think when they announce the weekend, they'll announce Frequent Fear.
Oh, it is Frequent Fear time too. Ooh.
But when did we get Frequent Fear last year? Do we remember the day? Because I remember it being like later in July, right? Because everyone was freaking out.
Yeah, it was later than usual last year, but I think also that was circumstance of the situation we were in. So we'll probably go to a more normal, which is usually June into July time frame.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
My thought process with that was, though, they're either going to announce Frequent Fear with that or with the first original that they announced, and they could do two originals together.
But it makes so much more sense.
I know. To do it with their biggest IP.
Biggest IP. Oh, man. Okay. You've convinced me to call it the weekend. Okay. I'm just going to stick with the 6th, just because. Because then I think I technically win if it's a Tuesday or Thursday.
No, that's not fair then, because then it's a draw if it's Thursday.
Well, because closest without going over. But But
then you said without going over, Thursday would mean you didn't get it.
No, but you went over. Anyways, okay, fine. It would be a draw. But I'm gonna.
If it's Thursday, it's a draw.
I'm gonna do weekend the 6th.
Okay, weekend the 8th.
All right, deal.
And wait, okay, but that's a holiday weekend, or that's a holiday week. Did we get the Halloween announcement the week of Memorial Day, or was it the week after?
What day was Memorial Day?
The 30th of May. I can talk.
No, because I think we would have got it on
the 8th.
The 8th.
That sounds right. Okay, so there is a possibility because that's a holiday week.
Fuck.
I'm just saying.
No, you're right. And the holiday is on a Monday as well.
We're all off. Well, some of us are off. If you work in the theme park, you're not. I'm sorry. Maybe we can update next week if we want to.
Yeah, okay, fair. So for now, I will go with Wednesday the 6th.
The 8th.
All right.
And look, I gave you 5 more minutes.
Hey, look at that.
They're all gone. No one's here anymore.
No, everyone's gone.
It's just you and me.
I love talking to myself. All right, anyways, if you
I'm right here.
If whoever's left wants to follow us on social media, that's Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at HHN365 and our TikTok at HHN365pod. Leave us a voicemail at 407-906-4134 and we will put you here on the show. And with an updated date prediction, I'm sure next week we'll see you in the streets.